Hello friends, how are you? So I hope you all are doing well and are enjoying the lectures. Yes sir, we are having some real fun. And now we are starting with the next chapter, our fourth chapter, that is overhead costing, one of the most important chapters. Sir, a question paper without a question from overhead costing of 10 marks is not possible, right? So this is one of the most important chapters of cost accounting, CA Inter, CA IPCC, CMA, whichever field you take, whichever professional course you take, this is considered to be one of the most important chapters, right? So we are going to start with this chapter, and this chapter is definitely going to take some time. We'll do it slowly, we'll do it properly with each and every concept. Okay, the conceptual clarity in overhead costing is very important. In fact, in every chapter it is important, but this chapter holds a special importance. Okay, so now first I'll give you the overview of the chapter, that what are we going to study in this chapter of overhead costing, right? Then we are going to start with the things. So this is what I have made, one flowchart regarding what we are going to study in this chapter of overhead costing. First, we are going to understand what are the overheads, right? So first thing is, what are overheads? This is what we are going to study, right? The first thing. Then we are going to understand that why we are studying these overheads, why we need to study these overheads. Okay. Then we'll study one more topic. I have missed this one, that is classification of overheads. One we are going to study is classification of overheads. Then types of departments, allocated versus absorbed overhead. So this is one section that we are going to study first. This is one section. Then comes another section that is very important, that is distribution of overheads. Okay, this distribution of overheads is having three steps. The first step is primary distribution, second is secondary distribution, and third step is absorption of overheads. In primary distribution, we will study about the basis of distribution of overheads and how we do primary distribution. In secondary distribution, we have methods. 4 methods are there: direct distribution, repeated simultaneous equation, and trial and error method. Okay, although this trial and error method is not that important, and even all those who are having the handbooks, they won't find this trial and error method there, so nothing to worry about it. I'll do one question. There is one question in the ICI module only for trial and error method. I will tell you the difference between trial and error method and repeated distribution. They are similar methods. Okay, so I'll quickly tell you, nothing to worry about it. We'll cover that. In the absorption of overheads, the one thing that we are going to discuss is methods of absorption, and in that, machine hour rate is the most important method from which we can expect a question in the examination, right? Then we'll study about one topic, that is under and over absorption of overheads. Again, one of the most important topics. So this whole section of distribution of overheads, this is very important. This whole section is like a whole chapter, right? This section is very easy. What are overheads, why we study overheads, classification, these three things I'm going to cover in this lecture only, right? Then departments and allocated. This is basically the base, but very easy. The practical part will start from here, the distribution of overheads, right? From where we are definitely expecting a question in examination. So this part is very important to understand the small things, that how to deal with the question, what are the conceptual mistakes that we can commit, right? And how to deal with it. Okay, sir. So what are we going to study is, the first we are going to study what are overheads. Let's come to this part now. So we have this chapter number 4, that is overhead costing. That is overhead costing. So all those having my handbooks, no need to write anything, just concentrate, just listen to what I'm saying, right? And just concentrate on the concepts, try to grasp it. Everything is written in the handbooks, you don't need to write anything. Okay, so all those who are not having, that is up to their wish how they want to write. Okay, so the first thing that we need to understand is about what are overheads. What are overheads? What are overheads? Now, when we covered the chapter of basics of costing, there I told you about the cost, types of cost. When we discussed, I told you there are two types of cost. One is direct cost. One is direct cost and the other one is indirect cost. Okay. What is direct cost, sir? Just revise once. What is direct cost? The direct cost is that cost which can be identified in one unit of finished good, right? Like a cloth used in manufacturing a t-shirt. Cloth used in manufacturing a t-shirt, right? So you can accurately identify the quantity of the cloth used and the price of the cloth used. Okay. What is indirect cost? Indirect cost is that cost which cannot be identified. Which cannot be identified. Identified in what? Identified in one unit of finished good. Right? Right, sir. Like the electricity used. See, the electricity used is for the machinery and the machinery is producing 1000 units at one time. Then how can you say that what quantity or what quantum of electricity has been consumed for one unit? You cannot identify that. This is indirect cost, right? Now, what is overhead? Overhead is the sum total of all the indirect cost. This indirect cost is known as overheads, right? All the indirect costs are known as overhead. So overhead, if we talk about overhead, we can write it overheads like this, right? Overhead is equal to indirect material, that is the material which cannot be identified in one unit of finished product, plus indirect labor plus indirect expenses, any other expenses which cannot be identified in one unit. So all the indirect expenses are known as overheads. Clear? So this is the first thing that you need to remember. What is direct cost? See, we have studied the chapter of material costing, that is a direct cost. We have studied the chapter of labor costing, that is a direct cost. There can be any other expenses which can be direct, like for example, royalty. Say you have written a book, okay, you are earning the royalty on that book. Okay, that is per piece royalty has been fixed. That is for one unit. Royalty for one unit. So royalty is directly identified in one unit. Okay, so that is a direct expense. All the indirect cost which cannot be identified in one unit of the finished product, like electricity used, all these things are known as overheads. Now, this is what is overhead. What are overheads, right? Now, why we need to study about these overheads? Why we need to study about overheads? Why to study about overheads? Now, this is one of the most important questions, that why we need to study about the overheads, because this is going to be the base. You need to understand this, that why are we studying these this chapter of overheads? What is the purpose of studying this? If you know the purpose, then you will further understand the topics. Okay. So this is important to understand why we are studying this overheads. Let's take an example to understand that why we study about overheads. Okay. Say you have a pizza shop. Very nice, sir. You have a pizza shop. In that, you have a special pizza, right? You have a special pizza. And the price of that is say rupees 600. Now I'll ask you a few questions. Sir, very quickly tell me that how you identify the 600, that how you identified that the price of this pizza should be 600, right? There are a few factors that you considered. One, you considered the cost of material used in that pizza. Sir, what is the material used? Like a flour base is used, right? A pizza base that we call it. Then you put some veggies on it, right? Then there are sausages on it. Then it may be other things, right? Like the cheese, cost of cheese. So you identified what is the cost of all these things that has been used in the pizza. This is one factor that you identified in setting this price of 600, right? The question here is that how we identified that the price of this pizza should be 600. Okay, the first consideration is material. So all this is my direct material, right, sir? Then the second consideration is the effort that has been put, that is labor cost, right? That is the second consideration, and we have studied these two chapters. Understood? Sir, is there any other expense? Is there any other cost which we have to consider while setting this 600, or only material and labor cost is to be considered? No, sir, there is other cost also. Sir, what is that other cost? I'll write it here, other cost. Sir, now explain this other cost. What can be this other cost? What can be this other cost? Right? Say you have a big oven, right, in which you bake your pizza. This is an oven in which you bake your pizza. Now, in this oven runs on electricity. Obviously, sir. If this oven runs on electricity, that means you will have the electricity bill also. It is a cost to you. Now say there are, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 pizzas being baked in this oven at the same time, right? At the same time, we are baking these 8 pizzas in this oven, right? Now just tell me, say the electricity cost of baking these 8 pizzas. What I'm saying is, listen to it very, very carefully. I'm saying, let's say that the electricity cost of baking these 8 pizzas in this oven is, say, 500 rupees, right? Now, can you just tell me that what is this cost attributable to one pizza? That means, how can I distribute this? Can I identify that out of this 500 electricity cost, what is the cost that is attributable to pizza number 1 or pizza number 2 or pizza number 3 or 4, or I can say 5, 6, 7 or 8? Can you tell me directly without dividing by number of pizzas? Right? Can you identify directly that out of this 500, what is the electricity cost that is attributable to pizza number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or so on? No, sir, we cannot identify it directly on the face of it. We cannot identify. Yes, we can divide it by the number of units. That is a separate thing. That is a part of overhead costing, right? That is one of the methods that you will learn. Under which topic? Under this topic, methods of absorption, we will learn that topic, right? But can you identify directly that how much electricity has been used for one pizza? No, sir, because electricity is being consumed commonly. 8 pizzas are being baked in the oven and the electricity cost is 500. So this 500 is attributable to all the 8 pizzas. I cannot identify in one pizza. So this is what? This is my overhead cost, right? Why? It is an indirect cost which cannot be identified in one unit of finished product. This is your finished product. This pizza is your finished product. One thing is clear. Okay. This electricity cost is my overhead. Now, the second question. This is the first question that I wanted to answer. Now, second question, very quickly, just tell me that who will bear this 500 cost? You will bear it from your pocket or you will recover it from your customer? Just tell me that. This electricity cost of 500, you will bear it from your pocket or you will recover it from your customer? Obviously, why will I bear from my pocket? If I have to bear all the other costs from my pocket, then what is the use of doing the business? Isn't it? So this 500, I have to recover it from my customer. right? This other cost is indirect cost. This other cost is indirect cost, but, and, sorry, not but, I'll say and, it is to be recovered from customer. Recovered from customer. Sir, now the problem is, sir, out of this 500, how much amount should be recovered from the customer who has ordered pizza number 1? This is one customer, this is second customer, this is third customer, this is fourth customer, this is fifth customer, sixth customer, seventh customer, and eighth customer. Sir, how should I distribute this 500 among all these 8 customers? This is what we are going to learn in the overhead costing. That is why we study overhead costing, that all the indirect cost which cannot be identified in one unit of the finished product, but this cost is to be recovered from my customer, right? And if I have to recover this cost from my customer, I will have to make it identify in one unit. If you want to recover this 500, obviously you will have to distribute this 500 among all the pizzas. Only then you can recover it from customer. Right? If you don't know the other cost in making this special pizza, then you will not be able to set this price of 600. Clear? So that is why this is the purpose of studying overhead costing, so that all the indirect cost which cannot be directly identified in one unit. Sir, if the cost is directly identified in one unit, then there is no issue. I'll take that cost and recover from the customer, right? Any cost which cannot be identified in one unit of the finished product, which cannot be directly identified in one unit of the finished product, but that cost is to be recovered from the customer, right? That cost is to be recovered from the customer. That method is known as overhead costing. So that means, in the overhead costing, if I summarize it very shortly, that means what we are going to do is we are going to distribute this indirect cost in one unit of finished product. Simple. Okay. Any indirect cost that is not identifiable in one unit, we will make it identifiable in one unit through overhead costing. This is the summary of all this thing, right? I'll again repeat it. Why I am repeating again and again? Because this is the base of overhead costing. You need to understand this thing, right? Any indirect cost means the cost which cannot be identified in one unit of finished product, but we have to make it identifiable in one unit so that we are able to recover from our customer. Okay, so that we are able to price this special pizza. Okay. If we are not able to distribute this 500 among all these pizzas, you will not be able to correctly price this pizza 600. No, sir, you will not be able to do it. So this is the purpose why we study this overhead, so that all the indirect costs can be identified in one unit of finished product and can be recovered from customers. Okay. This is the purpose of studying overhead costing. I hope this is clear. Just go through it very calmly, think about it, listen to each and every word very clearly what I am saying, right? It might not fit in your mind at the one go. Okay. Rewind the video, listen to it again and again, just try to analyze the situations, right? I have tried my best that this 500 is for all the 8 pizzas, but this 500 is to be distributed among all these pizzas so that this price can be recovered. Okay, we'll take another example relating to this. We'll continue this example, one more example, so that it is more clear to you. Sir, most of the pizza deliveries, what they say, they have written on their website or whatever, from wherever you order, there will be written in the bold words that is free delivery. Free delivery of pizza. Free delivery of pizza. So something like this in the bold letters will be written, isn't it? And you people are very happy, very excited. Yes, the free delivery of pizza. They are fooling you. Sir, how they are fooling us? Sir, they are providing it the free delivery. No, they are not providing the free delivery. Sir, how? See, what happens now, in the delivery of pizza, there will be different costs that will be associated. If we talk about the delivery of pizza, what will be the cost? Sir, delivery boy's salary will be there. Delivery boy salary, right? Then there will be fuel expenses. Obviously, sir, they come on the motorbike. Just think of Domino's or Pizza Hut or any other chain which you can remember. Delivery boy salary will be there, fuel expenses will be there, and some I can say repairs and maintenance expenses can be there. The motorbike on which they come, so repairs and maintenance expenses can be there, right? So all this is what? All these are overheads, because all these expenses have nothing to do with one unit of finished product, with one pizza. You can't identify, obviously. Can you identify the fuel expenses in one pizza? No, sir. Because he is delivering the pizza also, he is delivering the garlic bread also, and he is delivering the Coke also. Then how can you identify the fuel used in pizza or garlic bread or the Coke? We can't identify. So all these are what? All these are overheads. All these are what? Indirect expenses, which cannot be identified directly in one unit of finished product. Now, just think and tell me one thing, that is the company going to bear all these expenses from their pocket, or they will recover from the customer? Sir, the big brands, those are doing business, Domino's, Pizza Hut, any other brand that is doing business, they are not fools. They are making you fool by saying that we are delivering the pizza free of cost. In fact, what they are doing is, they are including all the prices of this thing in what? In the price of pizza. In this 600, everything is included. They are including the delivery charges also in that price of pizza. That is how they fool you by saying that it is a free delivery of pizza. In fact, what they have done is, no company is going to bear these expenses out of their pocket. They have to recover these expenses from their customer only. Only then they will be able to earn the profits, na? Right? If they are not able to recover their expenses, then how will they earn the profit? Their cost will go somewhere else, right? So all these are expenses are recovered from whom? They are recovered from you people only. And you say it is a free delivery of pizza. It is not, right? So next time you read free delivery of pizza, remember this. Sir, it is not a free delivery. The price of delivery has been included in the price of pizza. And what they have done is, they have this overheads, they have distributed in one pizza, one unit of finished product. This is the purpose of overhead costing. If they have not applied overhead costing, they will not be able to distribute this cost in this pizza, and this pizza cannot be priced correctly. They will not be able to recover their cost. They will go into losses. Clear? I hope this concept is more clear now. Okay, so this is the best thing I can, the best way in which I can explain. Now what you have to do is, if still it is not getting into your mind, just rewind the video, listen to it 2 to 3 times, try to analyze what I am saying, right? Go slow. Try to analyze what I am saying. What is indirect cost? How indirect cost is not identifiable in the one unit of finished product. If you are not able to recall it, watch basics of costing. What is indirect cost, right? And why it is important to distribute indirect cost in one unit of finished product, so that it can be recovered from our customers, right? Like this free delivery part. Clear? Right, sir. Now we are going to order a pizza, sir, after this lecture. Now you have taken so much of pizza into it that now we have to order pizza, sir. Okay, enjoy that. That's totally your wish. You can enjoy it. Now, what we are done with? We are done with what are overheads? Done, sir. What are overheads? Okay, done. Why we study overheads? Okay, sir, done. Now we are moving on to classification of overheads. This is going to be the next topic. Very easy. Classification of overheads. Now, how we can classify overheads? What are the different types of overheads that we have? First is classification on the basis of function, right? On the basis of function. So basically, in any business, there are broadly three functions that are taking place at one time. There are three functions. One is the production function, right? That is, we are producing the product. Second is administration. We call it as office and administration function, right? Administration function. That is the function. What is the role of this office and administration? To supervise this production function and to supervise the overall working of the office, right? And the third one is selling and distribution. Selling and distribution. That means once our finished product is ready, we have to sell it. Selling and distribution function. Clear? So broadly, these are the three functions which are there in any factory. Okay. So what are the overheads related to it? What are the overheads related to it? Maintenance of machinery, plant and machinery, right? Other can be insurance of plant and machinery, insurance of plant and machinery. Just analyze one thing. Can these costs be identified in one unit or not? This is the very basic rule, right? Direct cost and indirect cost. If cannot be identified in one unit, don't use that logic, sir. Total cost divided by number of units, that is one unit identifiable. That is not the logic, sir. I'm saying on the face of it, can you identify? You don't have to divide, multiply with anything. No, sir. Right? If you are dividing or multiplying with something, that is an overhead. I'll tell you in the topic of absorption, you don't have to divide or multiply with anything. Without dividing multiplication, can you identify that cost in one unit or not? That is the simple logic, right? If you can, that is a direct cost. If you cannot, that is a indirect cost. Simple, right? Then what can be the things related to office and administration? Staff salary. Staff salary. Sir, what kind of a staff? Sir, like the accountant's salary, that is office and administration. Supervisor salary, that is office and administration function, right? All these things come under the staff salary. Then maintenance expenses of office building. Right? So all these things come under office and administration overheads. What are the selling and distribution overheads? What can be that? Sir, salesman commission. Salesman commission. Right? If it is on the basis of amount, not quantity. If it is on the basis of quantity, then it becomes a direct cost. Remember that. Okay. Then there will be a delivery van expenses or delivery charges, delivery expenses, I can say. Any delivery expenses. Okay, so these are some of the examples of selling and distribution function. So this is the classification of overheads on the basis of function. Basically three functions in any factory. That is production, that is the area where we are making the product. Second is office and administration function, where our accountant is sitting, where the overall administration of the that factory is going on. Okay, where the supervision is going on, where the head of that factory is sitting, where the owner of the factory is sitting. That is office and administration function. That is, they are doing other functions, like they are making the invoices. That one person is sitting there who is making the sale invoices. One is there who is preparing the purchase bills, that what material is to be purchased, how it is to be purchased. So he is calling that person, he is calling the vendors and all those things, right? That is office and administration function. Now third is, when the finished product is ready, we have to sell that. The third function is selling and distribution function. Okay. So this is on the basis of function. Second is on the basis of element. All those having the handbooks, no need to write anything, you can find it there. Okay. Second is on the basis of element. Sir, element is nothing but what? Indirect material. Element means material, labor and other expenses. So indirect labor and indirect expenses, right? Sir, what is the example of indirect material? Sir, say indirect material can be, say you are having a machinery in which you are making the product, right? That machinery runs on fuel. Fuel is what? A material, isn't it? A fuel is what? A material. Can you identify that machinery runs on fuel? Okay, you put the fuel in the machinery and it is going to produce 1000 units in, say 50 liters of fuel. The machinery is going to produce 1000 units. Can you tell me that how much of fuel will be consumed for 1 unit without any division and multiplication? Without any division multiplication, can you tell me that how much of the fuel will be consumed in making of 1 unit? No sir, we cannot tell. That is indirect material. Clear? So on the basis of element is indirect material, indirect labor and indirect expenses. Third is by control, Third is by control. What is meant by control? Sir, control is, there are two kind of cost related to this. One is controllable overheads, right? Second one is uncontrollable overheads. Uncontrollable overheads. Sir, what are controllable overheads? Sir, the overheads which can be reduced, that means the cost which can be reduced by our actions, which can be controlled. For example, electricity. Now it is in our control that we can reduce this electricity bill. Sir, how? We can switch off the lights and fans when not in use. We can switch off the machinery during the lunch break. Obviously, sir, during the lunch break, the workers will not be working on the machinery, so we can switch off the machinery. So these are the controllable things which are under our control, which we can control by our actions, right? The cost which can be reduced, basically, I can say the cost which can be reduced or which can be controlled by our actions, that is controllable. The overheads, we are talking about the overheads only. What is uncontrollable? That is beyond our control, that is not under our control. Like example, taxes. Are the taxes under our control? No sir. Can you say, Modi ji, please reduce the taxes? Right? Can you say, our finance minister, ma'am, please reduce the taxes? No sir, that is not in your control. That is in the control of government. So whatever the government is setting the taxes, whatever the rate of GST being set, whatever the rules being set, that is beyond your control. Those overheads are beyond control. Sir, taxes is a overhead. Yes. Can you identify if you are paying 1 lakh rupees as the tax? If you are paying 1 lakh rupees as the tax, can you identify what is the tax paid in 1 unit of the finished product? No sir. Clear? Right? Any doubt? So these are controllable overheads and uncontrollable overheads. Sir, why are we studying this topic? This topic we are studying from the point of view of theory also. Theory is important, sir. I told you in the very first lecture, in the very beginning, I told you that theory in costing is equally important and you have to do it, right? Some people say, sir, in the CA intermediate, we can attempt 100 marks of practical paper. And ICAI has broken this myth that you can attempt 100 marks of paper. How? In November 2020 paper, they have asked for 8 marks of compulsory theory with the question. Right? So if you are leaving the theory, then definitely you are going to be in danger. Right? So cover everything. We are going to cover each and everything, sir, in detail. Nothing to worry about it. Sir, any other classification? Any other classification? Yes, sir. There is the fourth classification, that is on the basis of nature. The fourth is on the basis of, the fourth is on the basis of nature. What is the nature of overhead? See, the overheads, nature of overheads can be divided into three parts. One is fixed overheads, one is variable overheads, and the third one is semi-variable overheads. Sir, what are semi-variable cost? Right? First is fixed overhead, like uh, rent. Rent is an overhead, right? Then what is variable overheads, like electricity, fuel? All these are variable overheads. Electricity is there, fuel can be there, right? That depend upon the number of units that you are producing. That depends upon the number of hours that machinery is working, obviously, right? And what can be the semi variables? Are these are overheads which are fixed to some extent and which are variable to some extent, right? That if we say that if we produce 5,000 units, right? If we produce 5,000 units up till this point, or up till the consumption of this many units of electricity, the bill is going to be 1,000 rupees only. If you increase it, then for every increase in unit, we are going to charge 100 rupees. So these kind of things, these are the semi-variable overheads. Okay. So these are the, like the electricity department says up to the consumption of 500 units. Okay, I will not take 5,000. That is too much. Okay, the electricity company says up to the consumption of 500 units, we will charge 1,000 rupees. That means even if you consume 400, we will charge 1,000 rupees. So that is a fixed cost, right? And beyond this, we will be charging 100 rupees for every 100 units, right? That is 1 rupee per unit. So this is how, this is a semi-variable cost kind of thing, right? Okay, so this is a semi-variable kind of thing. So this is about the classification of overheads, right? It is important from theoretical point of view. I have given the details in the handbooks, right? So you can read it from there, all those who are having that. So we are done with the third topic also, that is classification. Now we'll wrap this this lecture here. In the next lecture, what we are going to talk about is types of departments and allocated versus absorbed overheads. That what is the meaning of these two overheads? That is very, very important again. Okay. So what you have to do is listen to this lecture very carefully, and if you are facing any problem anywhere, listen to it 2 to 3 times. This is the base of overhead. This is very, 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 very important. Okay, this is going to be the base of overhead, classification of overheads. Why are we studying the overheads? All these things we'll continue to study. Right? So in the next lecture, the two main topics that we are going to do, that is very simple topics, again theoretical point of topics, but very important to understand because that will build the base for practical part. Okay, so we'll continue in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.